So welcome again along to our CEO Change of Mind Q&A session. This afternoon we're going to look at the area of engineering, and I'm joined by Laura Egan O'Brien, who's the marketing manager for the area of engineering, and then by two current students, Emma and Dev, who are going to talk you through all of the engineering options that we have on offer here in UCD. And again, don't forget, if you have any questions about the area of engineering, make sure to ask them in the questions, and we can either answer them during this session today or over the next couple of days in the comment section below. So Laura, I might start off with you. Do you maybe want to explain kind of what subject areas are students interested in who decide to do an engineering degree?
Yeah. So obviously, because the engineering is really broad and varied, we get a variety of different students who are interested in doing it at a degree level. So obviously, subject-wise, we're looking at students who have a strong aptitude in maths and are doing higher-level maths, and also in the sciences as well. Particularly physics would be the most applicable, but we take students who have an interest in chemistry and biology and all the other sciences as well. And then we're also looking at, as an engineer, engineers are seen as quite inquisitive and like to see how things are made and how they come apart, and also things like how to problem solve. They like to be creative, the design aspects of engineering that we offer here in UCD as well. So all those kind of things feed into what makes a really, really good engineer. And if students are looking for a very practical, more hands-on degree, and also careers then eventually that are very interesting and flexible, engineering is a really, really good option for those kind of students too.
And in terms of the program areas that we offer, could you maybe give an overview of the different disciplines within engineering that students can pick?
So as far as what we offer here in UCD, the first year is a common entry, so students just have to know that they're interested in engineering, and on their CEO they put down DN150 for engineering. They come in, then in first year they're going to do their basic sciences, physics, chemistry, they'll do maths, to get everyone up to the same level from the Leaving Cert, and then they're going to start to do tasters in the different disciplines that we do offer. So they might do intro to mechanics, or intro to energy engineering, or they might do a robotics design challenge, or creativity and design, things like that. And it's only going to second year that they then have to make a decision what discipline they'd like to specialise in. And the ones that we do offer are biomedical engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical electronic engineering, civil engineering, structural engineering with architecture, and chemical and bioprocess engineering. So there's a good bit of choice there for our students. And they don't have to make a decision right away, which is very helpful because they get to know the subjects that they enjoy and what they'd like to ultimately do maybe as a career.
And Emma and Dev, I might throw it over to you in terms of why did you pick the areas that you are specialising in now, and why did you pick UCD for studying engineering?
So I'm actually from Cork, so you would have thought I would go to UCC CIT, but when I was looking at my options, I really didn't know what stream I wanted to go into, and then I came up to the UCD Open Day and they told me all about all of the different streams that we can do and how you don't have to choose right away, and that really appealed to me. So I came up to UCD and I went into first year, and I hadn't done chemistry for the Leaving Cert. We did chemical engineering, and I knew I didn't particularly want to do that one, so focused on the other ones. I did mechanical engineering, that was quite fun, but I knew just the elect side came to me a lot more naturally, and I'd enjoyed it when I did it in physics for the Leaving Cert. So I really liked the lecturer that I had, and I chose to do that in second year. I've been doing that for 2 years now, and I'm really enjoying it. So that was me.
A bit of the same thing for me. I really liked the variety of courses in second year that engineering offered, and also the fact that you get to do basically most of the engineering that we know right now in first year. And really, like, when I came into first year, it was really, really helpful, as in the lecturers would always help you out. We have, math support centres and all that sort of stuff to kind of keep you going. And obviously, the campus was a good thing as well.
And you kind of mentioned an interesting point around the math support centre, and often when students are looking at engineering, they see it is a very high level of maths that you need. So for all of you, what would your kind of advice be to students who might be kind of daunted by the level of maths? Might start with you, Laura.
Yeah, I'll start. So we do have a minimum requirement as far as students who are coming out of the Leaving Cert, and it's a H4 in maths. So that's the minimum standard we expect. If you're getting above that, great, but if you're just about passing that and you get in, that's all you need. That's the level that we require, because that's how you'll cope with when you get in here. Everything else you'll be taught, or if you are struggling, then you have, as Dev said, the Maths Support Centre that's there to help you. That's run by some students and postgraduate students and academics, and they're there to help you with either, you know, one simple problem or a whole range of different problems if you're having that as well. So I'd never struggle with any aspect, always go get help. What I would say is you have to have an aptitude for maths and a like of maths, but you don't have to be the best in your class. You'll be fine.
How did you find maths component?
It's definitely an important part to enjoy. I think if you don't enjoy maths, you're not particularly going to enjoy engineering. I was never the best at maths though. I didn't get a H1 in my leaving cert, but I came in and all of your classmates are going to be very open to helping each other, and the lecturers never turn anybody away. So I think it shouldn't be a worry. Should never be a worry coming in. So.
Yeah, you don't really, again, as Emma and Laura said, you don't have to be the best, because the Math Support Centre is there if you need it. And I've been a couple of times, because grades don't really, as long as you pass and as long as you're above the threshold, you're all fine to get in, because then everyone is just brought up to the same level, and then it's on up to you how much study you do, extra hours after college on yourself. That depends on how good you get. And yeah, you do have to kind of enjoy maths and like it, because you're not going to get away from it in engineering. It just doesn't happen.
And in terms of actually studying engineering, could you maybe explain what kind of a typical week is like for an engineering student, and maybe for you guys, kind of what is the practical element of the course like?
So I found that the average week would probably consist of going into college for 9 or 10. You'll have probably about 3 lectures in a day, and then you'll probably have some kind of lab or tutorial, and the labs only get better and more interesting as you go along. I found they get more relevant, they get more challenging. You learn how to do write-ups, and it really helps you to understand what you're learning in class. It really solidifies what's going on, and the tutors in there are very helpful, and the lecturers will pop in and see how you're doing, and they're very useful and they're very enjoyable, I found.
Again, the same thing. The labs really, they, not that they're irrelevant, but some of them are very proving theoretical things in semester 1 and 2, but again, in semester 1 and 2 they get a lot more practical and a lot more enjoyable, and again a lot more relevant to the course, and they kind of help you in the final exam to be like, oh, I did this in the lab, and you kind of can relate to your experience during the week. And it is very, very busy week. You have lectures, labs and tutorials basically, or if you do form a student or something like that, that'll come up as well.
I suppose that's kind of the nature of engineering. It is a really good hands-on course, so you will be spending an awful lot of times in tutorials and in labs and things like that. And another kind of area where students gain experience is through, say, the internships that they do. Would you maybe explain to the people at home kind of about the internships and what students can do with them?
Great opportunity for our students, and we think it's a really, really important part. So if our students choose to do the full 5-year program with us, that means that they do the bachelor and then go on to do the masters with us. It means in their 4th year that they go out on work placement for 6 to 8 months. That's in industry. You have a couple of years of an engineering degree under your belt at that stage, so you're not, you're going in working on real life projects with real life engineers in real life companies. It's a great time to bring up your skills, kind of turn what you've learned in your degree and put it into real world experience. It means when you're finishing your degree also that you have a great degree under your belt, but also you have that relevant experience, and employers really, really like to see that. And it also means if our students, it's not guaranteed, but generally speaking, if our students perform well on placement, they can actually get a job offer for those companies. It might just be another internship, but it's somewhere they can go after their degree, get more experience, and it kind of takes the pressure off in your final set of exams, knowing that you have somewhere to go and get more experience in afterwards. Yeah.
And in terms of once you've kind of finished studying here in UCD in engineering, what are the kind of careers that graduates are going into?
Yeah, so obviously because engineering itself is quite wide and varied, the careers tend to be quite wide and varied also. So we find students are, finishing with transferable skills, a mindset that works in a multitude of different career paths, different industries. So you'll find some students who'll go on to do further studies. So they might go on to do a research master's, a research PhD, or they might go into academia. And then we have other students who'll go on in to do industry. So they might do the more traditional, typical engineering roles in the likes of the ICT sector, the energy sector, medtech companies, pharmaceutical companies, food and drinks industry. They might do consultancy. And then we have other students who'll go on and they'll do less typical avenues. So they might do, they might go into financial services, into banking. They might be entrepreneurial and start up their own companies and businesses. They work from anything with startups right up to large multinationals like Google, Facebook. They work for professional service industries like KPMG, like Deloitte. So there's it's a very flexible degree. It awards a lot of opportunities for our students, and you can really go a lot of different places with a degree in engineering. Obviously, what you've specialised in will dictate some of where you can go, but we find that engineering is a very multidisciplinary field as well. So just because you've specialised in one area, it doesn't mean you'll never work in another area as well.
And in terms of the students who are maybe kind of looking at their CEO and the change of mind window at the moment, what advice would you all give to students who are kind of sitting at home, kind of weighing up all their options, and they think they might be interested in studying engineering? Might start with you, Laura.
Yeah, sure. So what I would say is, if a student feels that they want a degree that's very, very practical, very hands-on, has great career opportunities, that they have an aptitude for the maths, that they have an aptitude for science, engineering is definitely something they should be considering. They should be looking at our prospectus. They should be tuning into the likes of Today. They can reach out to us on the CEO hotline and they can get more information if they're still struggling to make a decision. But you really can't go wrong with an engineering degree. At the end of the day, it'll be a great opportunity for our students, and our academics really look after the students. There's plenty of supports. The campus that we have here is great, so I think it's just a really great opportunity for students.
I think what most people who are tossing up engineering will be thinking is whether they want to do engineering or science, or maybe straight maths. And I think the thing about in secondary schools is that you learn science, but you don't learn engineering. And I would say engineering is like the application of science. I liked science. I enjoyed the problem-solving aspect of it, and I really wanted to apply it to the real world. I wanted to really help people design things. That creative aspect was really what attracted me to engineering. So I'd say if that sounds like you, then definitely give engineering a go. It will stand you in good stead. Yeah.
Yeah, the same thing is like engineering is basically science applied. It's more so basically in school you kind of learn, you're just told like, oh, this is why that works, and in engineering in college you find out how it works or why it works. And it's not more so, and the people who are actually like at home weighing up engineering, they're like, oh, I don't really want to do the maths part of it. Again, maths is not a problem, you will get by it. I mean, like, math, anyone can get by in maths and engineering, so, and engineering will set you up really, really good, and you can pretty much go anywhere with engineering. It's a really good degree to have.
So that is it for our session today. I just want to thank Laura, Emin and Dev for joining us all and kind of sharing your time and answering all our questions. If you do have some more questions around engineering, make sure to mention them in the comments below and we can get back to you over the next couple of days. And the CEO helpline, or the UCD CEO helpline, is open until next Monday. So if you do have any questions about any of the course areas here in UCD, make sure to get in touch with us and we can answer all your questions. So thanks very much for joining us.